Hello, WealthLab 8 users. Glitch here. Today, we're going to talk about what's new in WealthLab 8 Build 23. So let's get started. We got some interesting new things here. First of all, let me open up a strategy, the Knife Juggler. It buys every stock in the portfolio, or it attempts to. It places a limit order for every stock at 2% below the closing price. So it's trying to, get moves as stocks move down. It's trying to, kind of hit those limits at 2% of the previous day's close. And I'm running it on the Dow 30 on daily data using 100% of equity. Let's give it a little margin factor in case there's a gap up between the signal bar and the execution bar. We want to make sure we give it a little fudge factor to take that position. So what happens if more than one stock hits the 2% limit? So we could have 10, 20, we could have all 30 of the Dow stocks hitting that limit on the next day, depending on what's going on with the market. Well, WealthLab will choose a random one to take in that condition. So if you run the back test again and again, you're going to wind up with different results. What if we could go into the daily bar on a higher frequency and look at what happened in that bar for each stock and see when the stock actually came down and hit the level? Well, that is what granular processing does. So if I turn on granular processing using 10-minute data, or this is configurable here, but I like using 10, it will use the intraday data to determine when the stock would have hit that limit, and based on that information, it gives a more accurate back test, more kind of real world answer of what would have happened in that previously ambiguous situation. So what's new in Build 23, however, is once I get the results here. So here we have our positions, and I'm going to put the most recent positions to the top. And here we have a new element in parentheses. This time is showing us the time within the intraday data that the granular processing took the position. That's when that limit was hit. So you can now kind of get a window into how the granular processing is working at that inner level. So pretty cool. It's giving you a better idea of how the granular processing is working. So next, let's go to our data manager. Historical providers, this is where you configure all of the data providers for WealthLab. We have a new button here, symbol mappings. So previously you could apply symbol mappings to brokers and to streaming providers. You can now also apply symbol mappings to historical providers. So here I have something set up for Yahoo so that if I get this symbol, and this is what Super Ticker was requesting on the forum, so we implemented this for Build 23. If this incoming symbol comes in our Yahoo provider, it's going to convert it to SPY because this symbol is not recognized. So let's give it a quick test. Let's go to this data set of Yahoo data that I previously set up. Let's double click on a symbol. Yeah, we're getting Amazon powered by Yahoo Finance. If I click on this symbol, previously it wouldn't be able to find it. We would get an error, but now, thanks to our symbol mapping, it mapped it to SPY. So there you go, symbol mappings for historical providers, new in Build 23. Next, we have some improvements of how bar histories can be plotted in coded strategies. So let's go ahead and create a new C# coded strategy. Let's bring in some external data here. Let's say bar history. Let's say Tesla is equal to, and then we're going to use get history, which will pull in some external data, and we're going to pull in external data for Tesla, and then we're going to say plot bar history. Now there's two ways to plot. You can just use the basic plot bar history, and then there's plot bar history style. Let's use that one. That's kind of a later addition to the framework. We're going to plot our Tesla in a new pane, calling the name the pane Tesla, and we're going to plot it as, say, a Heiken Ashi style. And let's give it a color. That's good. Let's run. And then after it pulls the data and runs, we are going to get a nice Heiken Ashi chart of Tesla. So the change now in build 23 is you don't need to provide this color parameter. Previously, if you omitted this, it would use like a default grayish color, but now if you omit the color parameter, it will use the same up and down bar color as in your primary chart. So that is new in build 23. Next, we have something similar. If we go to a chart, we go to our indicators, let's plot the V chart indicator. The V chart indicator has components for open, high, low, and close. So it's like an indicator with 4 time series. So we can drag that over, drop it onto the chart. It default plots using this bar chart plot style. And this is how it would typically look. So the change now, we added a new parameter to use the chart colors. So you can also plot your V chart or any other custom indicator that you may have created that also is like V chart and has 4 components. So you can plot it using the same chart preference colors there. And you could also select which chart style to plot. Bar, candlestick, Heiken Ashi. Let's say plot it as let's use candlestick. So there we go. You can now control how these V chart and similar type indicators are plotted. And we finally added a new plot method to go along with that. We have plot indicator chart style. Plot indicator chart style will let you plot indicators like V chart programmatically using a chart style that you can name. And you could also specify whether or not you want to use the chart colors or use your own color. So that's all new for build 23 finally. And I think this is the most interesting new feature in build 23. If we go to our strategies, we have a new folder, WL.com My Strategies. So if I expand here, I could see strategies that are pulled in from the WealthLab.com website, the strategies that I created there. So here's my strategies folder. It's the same as what's here. This folder will remain synchronized with the My Strategies folder on WealthLab.com. So say, for example, if I move this one, this first code-based, or no, this one, this by every bar, I'm going to drag that and move it out into my dev folder. So it's going to say, do you really want to delete the strategy from WealthLab.com? Yes. So I'm going to move it over into the dev folder. So now if I go back to the website and click My Strategies again, you can see that it's removed. Likewise, if I open up a strategy here, for example, this code-based, let's open up also here. We got our editor. Now let's add a comment to the code and let's save it. So it's saying strategy saved on wealthlab.com. Let's go back to My Strategies, open up again here, and sure enough, the comment is here. So this folder will remain synchronized with your strategies that you save on wealthlab.com. It's a dynamic folder that will always remain in sync. So that's it for build 23. There's a couple more items in the change log. So check out Build 23 when you get a chance. We've got more great things happening in the pipeline, so keep your eyes open for future developments. And until then, we will see you all on the forum.